Welcome to Leap into Literacy, Bite-Sized Learning. My name is Marion and I'm one of the Learning Matters consultants. Today I'm going to show you a few spelling rules you can teach your child at home, along with a few tips to make spelling easier for your child. Let's begin. Foundation knowledge is crucial for the success of spelling. Our building blocks of reading success poster is designed around how the brain learns to read and spell. It clearly outlines the foundation layers required. Our Leap into Literacy series so far has looked at phonological awareness. This is hearing the sounds of our language away from print, and the beginnings of alphabetic principle. Claire shared with you how to begin teaching the sounds connected to the letters. Did you know that in our English language we have 44 sounds, but we only have 26 letters in the alphabet? So at times we have to combine letters to represent the different sounds. Sometimes we have to combine 2, 3, or 4 letters. We have also borrowed some letter combinations from other languages, which means we may have several ways of spelling the one sound. We need to explicitly teach these spelling patterns to our tamariki because it is a complicated language. The brain learns to read in only one way. This is often referred to as the science of reading. And the way the brain learns to read is through sound. Spelling is the key. Some students can map or store in memory words after only a few exposures, but most novice readers and dyslexic students need explicit teaching and often several exposures. Today, I'm going to teach you the most common spelling rules. I hope you find these useful, and you may even wish to teach these to your children or to organise any word lists they have received from their teachers into spelling rules. This makes it much easier for them to learn. This particular example on the screen is best taught using an explicit approach to spelling through teaching a spelling rule. You can see the word brain on the screen spelt B-R-A-I-N. When we attach the sounds to those letters, we get B, R, A, N. So the A and I is represented by 2 letters called a vowel team. I'm not going to teach you that rule today, but there's an example of one of the spelling rules that would need to be explicitly taught to your child. We teach spelling in a scope and sequence. This means we teach from simple to complex. Today, I'm going to demonstrate some spelling rules to you, starting with the simple and leading into those that are a little bit more complex. On the screen, you will see an example of our scope and sequence from our ideal platform. So single syllable words with short vowels are called closed syllables. You'll be able to learn more about those in the syllable session video that's coming up in a few days. So these words all have short vowels. Hop, op, short O in there, making the O sound. Stuck, st, a, hatch, a, ch, fudge, a, ch, kiss, s, will, w, l, and fluff, l, a. So you can hear all of those short vowels in there. So the rules that we're going to look at are all to do with the short vowel sound, otherwise known as closed syllables. So there are 5 main spelling rules within closed syllables. Here they are organised from simple to complex. The Floss Rule, the longer spelling CK, longer spelling TCH, longer spelling DGE, and double the consonant. I will now give you an example of each. First up is the Floss Rule. When I hear a short vowel sound in a word, and that short vowel sound is directly followed by a l or s sound, I need to double the f, l, or s to keep the vowel sound trapped and keep it short in order to create the correct spelling. Let's look at a few examples from the taster word lists. Ask your child to first read the words. So they would read through the list like this: off, will, kiss, scoff, and sniff. Then we would take the word lists away and ask students to finger spell them one at a time and then write them down. So for example, in the word off, we would get them to finger spell off, off. Hear that short vowel sound off, so we're going to double the F sound and then they would write it down. The next one, will, finger spell, w, oh, hear the short sound, that means we're going to double that L. And we would work our way through the list like that. Once they've written it down, we would ask them to read their word list back. So this process is called decode, encode, decode, which Claire referred to in the sounds video. So once they have done that and they've read it back, hopefully they've begun to map some of those words. This process would need to be repeated a few times. Let's go on to the next rule. Longer spelling after a short vowel, CK. So when I hear a short vowel sound in a word, and that short vowel sound is directly followed by a K sound, I need a C and a K to keep the vowel sound trapped and to create the correct spelling, just like in rock, R, O, K. We've got the short O sound, O. So we use the longer spelling, CK. Let's have a look at a few examples. So these examples are from the CK taster word lists on the back of the poster. So first of all, again, ask your child to read the words, so decode them, okay? And then you would take the words away and ask them to write them down. So you would give them the words one at a time and they would finger spell them and encode them or write them. When they have finished, ask them to read their word list back, which is decode. So let's just explain this one. So duck, D, A. We heard the short vowel sound A and it was followed by a K sound. So we would use the longer spelling CK. Back, B, A, K. Okay, we heard the short vowel sound A followed by the K sound. So we'd use the longer CK and so on down the list. Next, we've got the longer spelling after a short vowel, TCH. So when I hear a short vowel sound in a word, and that short vowel sound is directly followed by a ch sound, I need the longer spelling TCH to keep the vowel sound trapped and to create the correct spelling. So in the word which, w, ch, we can hear the sound, so we use the longer spelling TCH for the ch. And when I say longer spelling, the normal spelling would be CH. So longer spelling is TCH. Let's have a look at a few examples. So here is the word list. So these words again are from the taster word lists on the back of the poster, the spelling rules poster. Itch, okay, short vowel sound, ch, followed by the ch, longer spelling. So we use the TCH. Match, a, ch. So we heard the short vowel sound a, so we use the longer spelling TCH. So again, you would use these with your student, with your child, and you would ask them to read the word, so decode, encode, and decode, remembering to finger spell. Longer spelling after a short vowel sound, DGE. So when I hear a short vowel sound in a word, and that short vowel sound is directly followed by a J sound, I need a DGE to keep the vowel sound trapped and to create the correct spelling, as in the word badger, B-A-J. You can hear the J sound, and that's spelt with a DGE. Now, the normal J sound that we would use if it didn't have a short vowel would be the GE, soft G sound. Of course, we would have learnt that when we were teaching sounds before this stage. Let's look at a few examples from the list here. So edge, E-J. So we've got short vowel, E, and then we've got J, only two sounds, although we know that we've got the longer spelling for the J sound, DGE. Fudge, A-J. We've got the short vowel A followed by the J sound, DGE. Now let's look at the double the consonant rule. If we're wanting to spell a closed syllable word, so that, remember, that's one with a short vowel in the middle, like hop. So if we want to add a vowel suffix, we double the last consonant. So for example, in the word hopper, okay, hop, there's a short vowel followed by one consonant. So we have to double that consonant in order to keep the base word hop short and to create the correct spelling. Before we look at some word lists, let's have a look and establish what a vowel suffix is. So vowel suffixes start with a vowel sound. So for example, ing, so ed, ion, y, a, enable, and al. Let's now have a look at some example words from the taster word lists. So hopping. So we've got the base word hop. We want to add the vowel suffix ing. So hop, op. We can hear the short vowel o followed by one consonant. So we're going to double that consonant before adding the ing. Let's go down to the word runny. So the base word is run, n. We want to keep that short, that vowel sound short. So we're going to double the N before we add the suffix Y, which makes the E sound, runny. Again, students would decode, encode, and decode these words. Now we're going to have a look at a spelling rule for a silent E syllable type. Now, I haven't taught you the silent E syllable type, but basically a silent E syllable is where we have an E on the end of the syllable that doesn't have a sound, but instead it makes the vowel closest to it say its long sound. So an example for this. Okay, so in the word stampede. So this concept teaches us that when a suffix is added to a silent E base word, like stampede, the E has to be hidden if the suffix starts with a vowel. Let's look at an example. So in the word bake, bake has got a silent E. So if we want to add ing, we have to cover up or hide the E, and that's how we get baking. When we don't have a vowel suffix, so when the suffix starts with a consonant, we don't need to hide the E. Your child will most likely bring home a spelling list from school. They will either love it or hate it. Here are a few tips to help you make learning these words easier. Many teachers in New Zealand won't know the science behind how the brain learns to read and spell. They will quite likely give random lists of words to your child to learn. Some teachers use the spell right lists, some use words out of texts. They may appear very random, and so this is where it's important to try and help organise them for our child. So on the screen you will see a word list. So my first tip is to reorganise their words, and the first part of that would be to take out any irregular words and put them aside. So irregular words are words that don't follow the patterns in English, and there will be a Leap into Literacy tip coming up in a few days about how to learn irregular words. Okay, so there we go. We've got one irregular word that we've taken out. That is the word there. So we won't worry about that at the moment. Now we're going to organise the list to make them a little bit easier to learn. So we're going to group the words into spelling rules that are similar. Let's have a look and see how we can do that. Okay, so you can see at the top, we have got our hop and shop together. They are both closed syllables and they happen to have the same op ending in them, which will make that easier. And then on the list, you'll see miss and will. Now those we've just learnt today what they are. They are both floss words. They end in a s or a l sound, so the letter is doubled. The next one, fluff, that's also a floss word. Then flick and stuck, short vowel followed by the k sound, so longer spelling. And then we have got the word catch, which has got the longer spelling, PCH, and the word fudge, DGE. You'll be surprised how much easier it makes the spelling once you have grouped these sounds together. So, second tip, help your child hear the sounds in each word by finger spelling. And I talked about that as we went through with those taster word lists. And my last tip here is discuss the spelling list with your child's teacher. As I said, they might not be aware of the science behind how the brain learns to read or spell, but you could ask if they can, or if you can provide words for your child, and just say to them, you're teaching the rules from simple to complex. Is it okay if we continue learning these at home? Most teachers, you will find, are very understanding. So the best thing that you could do at home is to teach your child spelling rules from simple to complex using our taster word lists. So we're giving you this one-page spelling rules free to download. However, on the reverse of that is where you find the taster word lists. And what you can do is go to our website and you can purchase for a small price the download that has the word lists on one side and the spelling rules on the reverse. You could also help your child's teacher by pointing them into the direction of the ideal platform, or you may be a teacher watching this today. If you would like to know how to teach your students the spelling rules from simple to complex, check out the ideal platform on our Learning Matters website. Not only will the platform show you what to teach and the order to teach it, but it will equip you with how to teach from sound level to word level, then sentence level and text level. following the science of how brains learn to read and spell. We hope you have found this helpful. Happy spelling, everyone. Don't forget to head to our Learning Matters website and check out our other Leap into Literacy bite-sized learning tips.